do you know any of the Dallas Housewives? Like LeeAnne, Locken, Deandra?
I hung out with Deandra a couple times, and she wanted to push me to get on the show. And the other day, I was out. I know her and Leanne are arch enemies. The other day, I was out for drinks with my friends at Bistro 31, a little popular place in Highland Park where the little rich ladies go eat. And we were hanging out, and we see these two ladies, and one of them was dressed so fly, and then the other lady was Leanne. She came and pulled up a chair, and her and my friend were trying to drink each other on the table. And she has a lot of personality. But yeah, she said she's like a lot happier now that she's not on the show.
I've
And
talked to her since, and she seems happy.
she said she really is pushing against. She's like, I'm not a racist, and she's like really mad about that title. And she's like, telling us about all the friends she has and just some of the things she says. I get her in a way, as someone that kind of like shoots from the hip and just blurts shit out. Nowadays, everything you say is like, that's racist, or that's this. That's like, everybody wants to make it a thing. So I didn't watch Housewives of Dallas except when I was prepping for my interview. I had to watch a few episodes. So I don't know the backstory of everybody and like if she really is, but from what I understand, she brought a lot to the show. But I honestly, I stand by what I said about that whole franchise. They need to mix it up. They need to have some women of color on there as well. And I know Carrie got mad at me when I said something about there's still not enough diversity on the show. And that's why Atlanta's been kicking ass in the ratings. The whole black woman on there, like, I'm not, and she got mad, like, oh, I'm enough spice because I'm Latina. I'm like, girl, no one can tell you Latina until you talk, okay? Because you look like a Russian chick with all that blonde hair. But it was no shade to her. It was more towards the idea that Dallas is a mix. There's a lot of Mexican women here. There's a lot of black women here and white women that have money, that are 1,000% qualified to be on the show. And I don't think you just have to force it on every franchise, but it should represent the city. New York, you can't tell me, like, they need to mix that up as well. You can't just keep pushing that the women that enjoy that level of lavish lifestyle are just the same white women. Like, and that's no shade to white women. My mom's a white woman, okay? I got a whole bunch of them in my family, but it's frustrating when I see this. I'm like, that doesn't even represent Dallas. Like, mix it up a little bit. Mix it up. And I just feel like it's 2020 at this point. Like, stop. Like, even Atlanta, that is super black, they had a white woman on there, and she was quite popular. And I don't know, I just feel like they should just make it more realistic and more representative of the city that they're representing.
And when you ran into LeeAnne, she just pulled up the chair and just started saying, by the way, FYI, I'm not a racist.
Kind of, yeah. She knew I hung out with Deandra too, and I know that they both don't like each other. So she wanted to go in. What I do is, if I'm friends with someone, I don't engage in, you can get whatever you want to get off your chest, but I try to like curve the conversation elsewhere, because I don't want to sit here and be in a bitch fest. I don't want to sit there with LeeAnne hearing about you talking about Deandra, then I go hang out with Deandra and I look like a fake bitch. I'm not doing that. And I don't want to be around Deandra and the whole thing's about LeeAnne, and then I don't want to do that. But Deandra has been very kind to me. Every time I've seen her, she's been extremely sweet and kind. And LeeAnne, she is a ball of energy. And she was like, last time I saw her, she was like, we should hang out and go, work, exercise some of this liquor off. And, all I know is I couldn't drink and hang with them. That would be dead. My blood alcohol level would be through the roof.
I would agree with all of that. I know Deandra and LeeAnne very well, and I am Switzerland. I totally agree. I'm just like, and then you feel fake. You do feel fake, like when it's a Monday with one, and like you feel fake. Yeah. But I agree. I've said this all the time. The Dallas women they give the New York girls a run for the money. Mm-hmm. You guys, those two especially know how to hold their liquor. How did Carrie bring him come for you? She just like put something out there in the press?
So I got interviewed for the show because of, Deandra. She really was fighting for me. I got to give her all the credit. She really was. And so by the time I got my Skype interview set up, I was in LA. I got fired from my radio show in Dallas on November 11th. Well, they canceled it, right? on the 12th, I go into LA the same day, and I went and did Foxhole. I got that job like the next day, like as a guest host, and then just led to contracts. So I had just signed with them, and that's when I got my Dallas interview. So I did the interview knowing I'm doing the interview, but I really am not going to be available to do your show because I'm only going to be in Dallas on the weekends.